Yes, family. So you know, so upright and upright. Open your eyes, don't be blind. Open your mind, know what to think. You know what I mean? Remember, Satan is just a sly old fox. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, like someone promised someone, like, oh, I'm going to make you be a billionaire. I'm going to make you be a billionaire, and soon and later, it's like them gone with your soul in it. All right, family. So, like I said, Satan is just a sly old fox, cause it sounds like it's a joke and thing, but it's reality. You know what I mean? Family is 100% reality because a lot of families sell their soul. You know what I mean? I got some good, as I see, it's a part two. This I did have like some leave over ammunition, meaning knowledge, what me have to share about the school. So here it goes. You're gonna see like the pre-review of the videos, them what I am going to play, and maybe I will do some explanation in it. You know what I mean? Like I will lecture some of the videos them, yeah. All right, love your family. Upright and upright.
Rockefeller made sure to get the better end of the bargain. He would donate his great wealth to the creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society.
Marxist movement in America has done exactly that.
The education system establishes the direction for the future.
Individuals prefer they as a pronoun. Like meat or bot, they are my best friend.
We got kids that can't read and write, and then we're going to teach them incorrect grammar.
Give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And
keep an eye on who's writing the children's books. And,
All right, so yes, family. So those are the videos them, and maybe I upload some more same way. You know what I mean? Because I got like videos for days, knowledge for days. You know what I mean? And you see, when you know these knowledge is like, you know, how to stand up for yourself in the system, because we're living in a system where some family want to be rich. Like example, Bill Gates claimed that he buy like half of America. It's all impossible, but it really him have it on paper, in it. So we are gonna rise up over that, family. So I'm gonna start up the live and thing. So starting up the live, family, help me to share it, subscribe to it, press the bell icon, do whatever you want to do. But the most important thing, remember to inbox me. And if you're ready to move forward, family, I'm ready same way. So don't feel say I'm just here talking. I have links different from this thing, you know what I mean? I got families different from these things, you know what I mean, family? This is just like a upliftment, you know what I mean? But you could have be uplift like we up a God. It's like we need to move forward. You are great, but go and go tell the government say you are great and you're not working for them. You die for hunger. They look at you like you're stupid. So family, we have to do it together, you know what I mean? The world is big enough for each and every one, but if we don't work together, people gonna look at us like a fool. You understand me? Yeah, man, you should not have no boss above you. Boss, the name boss is a mannequin. In the Bible, them said don't worship no mannequin. You understand me, family? So if you read the good book, them say don't worship no mannequin. So upright and upright. I love your family. Yes, family. So like my Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. Yes, family. So like what I say, this one is about oh, you know that you are connecting with the spiritual. You're not going to really know these things so easily, innit? You see, when you squint your eye, like keep it closed, like this close, you know what I mean? Like, it's open now, so I'm seeing the physical, innit? Yeah? So now, it's closed, so now we connect with the ancestors, innit? So this is like when you go sleep, you get a dream, and you get all of these beautiful things come to you. You understand me? It's just like when they say we die. You understand me? This is how we see on the spiritual side, innit? So when you go like this now, you come back into the physical life, innit? But you come in the physical life for a physical reason, innit? Like we're supposed to be having fun every day. But mankind mislead us, you know what I mean? Yeah. So misleading us, family, a full time we all must unite now. You understand me? When I'm talking, family, it's just the highest and the brightest, you know what I mean? Yeah man, for real man. I connect with the spiritual and the physical every time. You understand me? And you do it too, but a lot of time you not even know so you do it. Because every time you quint to your eye, you connect with the spiritual side. You understand me? Yeah. So when I say you quint, you connect, family. When I talk about these MK Ultra meditation, because a lot of time family say, oh, meditate, and they still come back into the same world with the same damn program, innit? Like, oh, we must be peaceful with our brother, or we must be peaceful to our sister. Yeah, we must be peaceful, but it's a war going on out there, innit? The government, them have a gun and all these things, innit? So, you have to know how to approach. You understand me? Because with the spiritual and with you coming on the earth, you're not supposed to put up with no negative things. You understand me, family? If we all have to stand for positive, we all have to stand for positive. You understand me? So, family, this is not the time for us to turn the other cheek, you know what I mean? So I'm not turning no cheek. And I'm not laying back and make my brothers and sisters die out there, or being homeless, or they're hungry when the earth provides everything for us. So family, hear me. Don't wait till you're on your sick bed, you come into your sense. You understand me? When you close your eye, you're on the spiritual side. When you open your eye, you're on your journey. So open your mind, know how to think. You understand me, family? And I love you so much. Inbox me, get my number, and we come to gather, you know what I mean? Yeah man, for real man. You know, these are the days the universe make for us as a born hero or a born protector. Stand together. You understand me? And now say you know some negative things out there. So how we fix it? See, if everyone fix their negative or the bad things around them, we all are going to live happy. You understand me, family? So make we do that together. We fix your problem, and we fix my problem, and we fix her problem and his problem. Yeah? Alright, so like I said, inbox me, get my number, we pull together. Yeah? I'm out. Yes, family. So, like what me I deal with now, we not deal with no negative things, and we're there, and we are trying to uplift our rights, and we are trying to uplift your rights. Like a lot of family will be in the system, and they know things what is wrong or not, and knowing things what is wrong, it's like they would never say nothing. You understand me, family? Hear me? Why is like you keeping in? Why is like you're keeping in the positive inside? No, you must say it, family. Family, there's no man in this planet can make me tell a lie, you know, or make me walk away from myself, you know. No, don't make no one make you walk away from yourself, family. You know what I mean? You see, when you learn something in this world, you can't go on the spiritual side to teach it. You understand me? The spiritual know everything already. So why is like family know these things are things what I am saying, and they are not like doing nothing. Family, you don't have to fight to take your rights, you know. Only thing you need to do, understand, or understand, or overstand. You understand me? And next, find the right community, because I link with the Moors, yeah, the Moor community, and they are working on to build a better community for each and every one. You know what I mean? So whether you're so-called white, so-called black, so-called Indian, so-called Chinese, yeah, it's like we are about unity. I am in it too, you know what I mean? So it's not nothing evil. It's about love and unity and build together. You understand me, family? I love you so much, you know, family. But you see, what happened now? If they want to injection you, yeah, give you booster shot, yeah, what I can do? Huh? I can't do nothing. Not true. But you see, if we're in the unity, we can do a lot of things. You see, if you're hungry, yeah, maybe I give you a plate of food. Tomorrow you're hungry again. Maybe someone come and give you money and you sell me out. But family, in a unity, we can make things happen. You know that we can have our own plane. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, you that. Yo, nephew, big up yourself, yeah? Hey, your grandfather now watch, yeah? Yeah. Yeah. So, like what me I say now, yeah, family. You know, say, only thing make the government look like they govern us because they have the money. They are friends with the money team. But guess what? You see, if we come together, we can be the money team. Even your face you can put on money, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because if your face is on money and I can spend it and get something with it, I'm gonna spend it, you know what I mean? So this government want you to serve dead people. All the money what you can think of is dead people on it. So they want you to worship the dead. What kind of glad fool that? Huh? I say I fool them out, try to fool the family. These people are really trying to take the piss out of we. Yeah. When they go to school, they give us education. When a lot of family have education, and when they go to school, they can't get no job. What kind of education that? You know what I mean? What kind of education? Family. A lot of people say them educated, yeah, and then they on YouTube and all of these things. They can't get no job. So they have to act like a puppet on social media. You know what I mean? Some people they have intelligence, you know. But guess what? No matter how intelligent you are, yeah, it's like if you don't know how to act a fool to get people like you, you will never reach nowhere, innit? Never, ever reach nowhere. So like what me as a family, I'm going to reach far because I am talking my earthly truth, you know what I mean? Like the truth, what me coming to the earth for. You understand me? You coming to the earth for some truth, you know. Yeah, you coming to the earth for some truth. But you're living in a world, they oppress you. If you try to talk the truth, people feel say you are an enemy. You feel like, oh, you are a threat to life. Family. No, because you're in the wrong circle. You know what I mean? If you're in the wrong circle, you know what I mean? It's just like you're gonna come like if you say something, hold on, remember me still operate the things them, not your family. Yeah. Family. These people try to intimidate us in many different ways, you know what I mean? And try to intimidate us. None of them can intimidate me. Family, I got my lawyer. You know what I mean? And I got my links in all different places. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have links high above, I have links low above, and I have links right down to the ground. You know what I mean? I have links from the moon or to the sun to the ground. Yeah. So these people can't intimidate me. Then could I in a Freemason, then could I in the biggest police force. You understand me? Yeah, me have links in a police force, soldier force, all different force. You know what I mean? Yeah, so family, I don't fear no one, family. I can't fear no one. You understand me? So when you talk the truth, depends how you talk it. You know what I mean? If you talk it the wrong way, because if you talk to me the wrong way, yeah, I'm gonna think you're against me. But sometimes one is not against you, but the way how they're talking. You know what I mean? You know, like when you're young and being young, yeah, your mommy say, oh, go and go wash up the plate, go and go clean the yard, go and go clean the toilet, go to the shop. And it come like your mom or your dad was talking bad to you, innit? But it's not really bad. It's just like something you're gonna grow up and do same way. You understand me? So sometimes some family will talk to you, you think that they mean you harm, yeah? But sometimes some family can talk to you and they do mean you harm. All right, so I'm going to go on in the education system. Yo, Facebook peeps, enough love, enough. Yeah, one world, enough love, CMA, Facebook peeps. And YouTube peeps, enough love, CMA. So we are going at the education system now, yeah? I love you. Love you, love you, love you, love you. If a brother, you know what I love. If a sister, you know what I love, yeah? You hear it? Yeah, solid like a rock, yeah? One love every time.
Rockefeller made sure to get the better end of the bargain. He would donate his great wealth to the creation of public institutions, but those institutions would be used to bend society to his will. As every would-be ruler throughout history has realized, society has to be transformed from the ground up. Americans in the 19th century still prized education and intellectual pursuits, with the 1840 census finding unsurprisingly that the United States, a nation that had been mobilized by tracts like Thomas Paine's remarkably popular Common Sense, was a nation of readers with a remarkable 93% to 100% literacy rate. Before the first compulsory schooling laws in Massachusetts in 1852, education was private and decentralized, and as a result classical education, including study of Greek and Latin and a solid grounding in history and science, was widespread. But a nation of individuals who could think for themselves was anathema to the monopolists. The oligarchs needed a mass of obedient workers, an entire class of people whose intellect was developed just enough to prepare them for lives of drudgery in a factory. Into the midst stepped John D. Rockefeller with his first great act of public charity, the establishment of the University of Chicago. He was aided in this task by Frederick Taylor Gates, a Baptist minister that Rockefeller befriended in 1889 and who would go on to be John D.'s most trusted philanthropic advisor. Gates would go on to write a short tract, The Country School of Tomorrow, that laid out the Rockefeller plan for education. In our dream, we have limitless resources, and the people yield themselves with perfect docility to our molding hand. The present educational conventions fade from our minds, and, unhampered by tradition, we work our own goodwill upon a grateful and responsive folk. We shall not try to make these people or any of their children into philosophers, or men of learning or science. We are not to raise up from among them authors, orators, poets, or men of letters. We shall not search for embryo great artists, painters, musicians, nor will we cherish even the humbler ambition to raise up from among them lawyers, doctors, preachers, politicians, statesmen, of whom we now have ample supply. Although Rockefeller's resources weren't exactly limitless, they might as well have been. In 1902, he established the General Education Board to help implement Gates's vision for the Country School of Tomorrow with a staggering $180 million endowment. The Rockefeller influence on education was felt almost immediately, and it was amplified by help from fellow monopolists of the era who were approaching the topic of philanthropy from the same angle. Although best known as a steel magnate, Andrew Carnegie's fortune started on the railroads transporting Rockefeller's Standard Oil around the country, and was greatly magnified by a lucrative investment in property near Oil Creek that provided steady, profitable oil sales. In 1905, he established the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, a tax-free foundation through which Carnegie and his appointees could direct the development of the education system in the United States and, eventually, worldwide. In 1910, Rockefeller followed suit by establishing the Rockefeller Foundation, which became the tax-free umbrella organization for his philanthropic ambitions. As the Reese Committee, A congressional investigation into the activities of these tax-free foundations in the 1950s discovered it wasn't long before Carnegie's endowment approached Rockefeller's foundation with a proposal to cooperate on their shared desire to transform the American education system in their own image. Norman Dodd, the director of research for the congressional committee who was granted access to the Carnegie Endowment's board minutes, explains.
So they approach the Rockefeller Foundation with the suggestion that that portion of education which could be considered domestic be handled by the Rockefeller Foundation, and that portion which is international should be handled by the endowment. And they then decide that the key to the success of these two operations lay in an alteration in the teaching of American history. So they approach 4 of the then most prominent teachers of American history in the country, people like Charles and Mary Bird, and their suggestion to them is, will they alter the manner in which they present this subject, and they get turned down flat. So they then decide that it is necessary for them to do, as they say, build our own stable of historians. And then they approach the Guggenheim Foundation, which specializes in fellowships, and say, when we find young men in the process of studying for doctorates in the field of American history, and we feel that they are the right caliber, will you grant them fellowships on our say-so? And the answer is yes. So under that condition, eventually they assemble 20. And they take this 20 potential teachers of American history to London, and there they're briefed into what is expected of them when, as and if they secure appointments in keeping with the doctorates they will have earned. And that group of 20 historians ultimately becomes the nucleus of the American Historical Association. And then toward the end of the 1920s, the endowment grants to the American Historical Association $400,000 for a study of our history in a manner which points to what can this country can it look forward to in the future. And that culminates in a 7-volume study, the last volume of which is, of course, in essence a summary of the contents of the other 6. And the essence of the last volume is the future of this country belongs to collectivism administered with characteristic American efficiency.
Yes, family. So you don't know whatever them attack is what them a do now, you know what I mean? And we as the people, we have to stand up in that level, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man. And standing up in that level, we have to kind of see that things, you know what I mean, work out in the best behalf, you know what I mean? Because because through now my life on Telegram same way, you know, while my live out there on YouTube and what Facebook page and what they call it, yeah, Facebook itself, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, because we have to make the message go out there, you know what I mean, family? I don't know what going out there, but it come like family, them come like, I don't want to say zombie out and thing, but it come like we're living in a zombie time, you know what I mean? So upright and upright and send out the energy and send out the light and all. Because the light together, we are bright. All right, so we have fling out some more energy out there. You know what I mean, family? Yeah, man, some more energy, you know? Yeah, man, energy upon energy, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man. All right, love, family.
If you look at how do you change society, well, one of the things you obviously do is you go after the next generation. And you do that through the education system, and that's exactly what has happened to us. The Marxist movement in America has done exactly that.
The education system establishes the direction for the future. It sets the hearts and the minds, the perspectives of the next generation. Everybody knows how important it is.
They know that if they can get control of our children and they can pump their ideology into these young, hungry brains, they virtually can have them captive as prisoners for life.
And you're doing it all under the banner of being internationally competitive or college ready or career ready. So the euphemisms hide the actual intent.
The father of global education, Robert Mueller, was the Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations and the creator of the World Core Curriculum. He said the goal was, quote, to promote growth of the group idea so that group good, group understanding, group interrelations, and group goodwill will lead to group consciousness, unquote. His World Core Curriculum was pushed in America by George Bush Sr. as America 2000, which was renamed by Bill Clinton Goals 2000, which was then given a facelift to become George Bush Jr.'s No Child Left Behind, which was the driving force behind Barack Obama's Common Core. It's all the same thing, Republican or Democrat, progressing down the same road of complete brainwashing. Since John Dewey, the entire focus of education by the elites has been to, as quickly as possible, move the children to a collectivist mindset. The 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto states, provide a free education by the state for all children and to combine education with industrial production. Bill Gates has teamed up with the United Nations to build the model that will have our schools simply be a tax-paid training ground for corporate America.
In the end, most of this tracks back to people who would benefit financially from a more government-centric economy because they're at table. They're already political players. They don't want to worry about competition.
Not only is competition eliminated, but employees are created. The type that would be content to work 60 or 70 hours a week in a dead-end corporate job that just paid enough to survive. Traditionally, Americans would have had no interest in that. They would have wanted to use all the individual talents and abilities that God had given them. They wanted to do 100 different things in their life. Invent things, start new businesses, change the world. And the elites didn't want any of that, so it had to be destroyed.
It's like we're going after Marx's vision and at the same time making it impossible as well, because the mind arson necessary to get an amenable voter means that the wealth that you're planning on redistributing is really gone. You just don't know it yet.
Just as I was beginning to dig in, I realized I was making a big mistake. The temptation on all these different issues is to not accept the reality of how things really are. The bottom line is, our enemies are in control of the schools, so there is no fix. I know you don't want to hear that because I don't want to hear that, but it's true. They want our kids to be useful idiots. They want them to be dependent on the state. That's the goal of the whole thing. So they will repackage, rename, rebrand the same old thing over and over again. It is intentionally going downhill. We have to grasp this. It is purposeful. We legitimize them by acting like they just don't have a good idea and we have a better one. They know exactly what they are doing. They want to create a new world man that is dependent on government for his very existence. So to even talk about Common Core, debating its good points or bad points, is playing into their plan of sidetracking all of our energies and efforts on a dead-end road. Even without Common Core, the schools are completely bankrupt and destroying our children. We have seen a decline now for 70 straight years without any interruption. As long as the government has a monopoly in education, we will keep getting what we have.
And the end result is to make our children and those educated under this influence, to make them unfit to govern themselves.
Yes, family. So that one was a dangerous one, you know what I mean? And dangerous and serious and what is happening today. I don't play video what is not happening, but you know, the media want the families them where them kind of have the families them out there brain out there like how they want it still, you know what I mean, family? And having families brain like how they want it out there, we have to understand ourselves here, you know what I mean, family? And understanding what go on, family, we have to pull together, same way, you know what I mean? You know, like the song say, we are family, closer than mama they can see. Open your eyes, me say, don't be blind. Me say, open your mouth, me say, know what to say. Satan is just a vibration. Make we catch him and put him in the box. Lock that box and show with the key. For all those tricks they played on us, we make the money, they take the money. We buy the house, they take the land. A different day, make we change it from belief. Open your eyes, don't be blind. Open your mind, me say, know how to think. Me say, open your mouth, know what to say. Satan is just a vibration. Make we catch him, put him in the box. Let me see how Satan is working today.
Prefer they as a pronoun. Like meet or bought, they are my best friend.
We got kids that can't read and write, and then we're going to teach them incorrect grammar. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? Who gave permission to talk about this? There's two genders. If you're born with a penis and you have testicles, that's just anatomy. You're a male. If you have a vagina and ovaries, you're a female. A man cannot menstruate. A man cannot lactate and breastfeed a child. You cannot give birth if you're a man. If you want to be an adult and do whatever you want with your life, I'm okay with that. Don't push this ideology on children. I'm not going to work in a district that's okay with that. You need to make a clear statement on how many genders are there, because parents are they're already pulling their kids out of public school. They're doing homeschool options. They're going online. It's going to increase as this liberal ideology comes into our schools. This isn't a political indoctrination camp, okay? It's public education. We want to teach education.
Don't know your friends.
Yeah, family, that one there is short, but it's spicy, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, man. So, family, we have to kind of, you know, look on the right thing. Because if you agree with one wrong thing, it's like the one wrong thing you agree with going to lead up to two wrong things. You know what I mean? And like the two wrong thing going to end up to where we are today in the world. You know what I mean? Like, oh, rich and poor. No, none of us shouldn't be rich or poor. Celebrity. Why we want to be a celebrity? What? Because you want to be more than our brothers and sisters? No, celebrity is just wrong. Like what I say, family, being a celebrity in the world is just wrong. You get what I'm saying? And we have to come to that sense and know, say, yo, hear me. We just want to live, you know what I mean? We just want to just live as one, you know what I mean? And living as one, family, we are a great light in the earth. But you see, what happened now? If you don't come to your senses and stand up, just like what the brother just do, he just stand up, you know what I mean? And why it's like he stand up? Because he's not running away from himself, you know what I mean? He's standing up to the truth. And a lot of people would be on the side bench, yeah. Oh yeah, he's talking the truth. No, if someone talking the truth, say it. Say it. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't be afraid to say the truth. You know what I mean? The truth is the truth. Life make us perfect. But when it comes to the system, they say, oh, nobody perfect. That means if you say you're not perfect, that means the creator is not perfect. That means make you good, innit? You say, Master Family. No, you're 100% perfect, innit? All right, family. So we are take it to a next level again. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, for real, family. Like with me, I look out at the book of life and I take on the journey. You know what I mean? Upright and upright.
Give me a child until it's 7 and I will show you the man. They've been saying that for 400 years because they knew 7 years was the program period. And 95% of your life after that will be whatever that program is. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious. Your life is a printout of your subconscious behavior. Before you can become conscious, if you don't have any programs, what are you going to be conscious of? What kind of programs are required to live on this planet? I say, how do you get them? Theta is hypnosis. You just watch. You watch your parents, you watch your siblings, and your community, because you have to learn how many 100,000 rules. Think about it. Just to be a functional member of a family and a functional member of a community, there are rules. I teach an infant these rules. I say, oh, you don't have to. First 7 years, they observe it and just download it. And then I say, well, why is it relevant? Because this is the unfortunate fact. 95% of our life, this is a fact, comes from those programs in the subconscious. Every day, only about 5% of their life are you using conscious, which is creative. And you don't see it because it's called subconscious, below conscious. I can feed you with an idea that this pill that we just got from the pharmaceutical company, it's the greatest, best thing for your issue. And I give you this pill and you get better. And then later you find out it was a sugar pill and everybody goes, yeah, that's called the placebo effect. And I go, what does it really mean? I said, you didn't get healed by the pill, you got healed by the belief in the pill. And I go, well, yeah, that's what placebo is all about. And at least 1/3, minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is...
Yeah, family, they will block that video or block my channel, so I'm not gonna really play out that. And if you want to watch the full clip of that same way, I got a group on Telegram. You know what I mean? Right now I'm live from Telegram same way, so family is viewing in. You know what I mean? And while I'm live on Facebook and all of these platforms same way, family. So don't miss out. You understand me? I can't really play the thing and make they block the channel. You know what I mean? But family, you see, when you're using like reading from a book, yeah, it's like is who is putting that program into your head. You know, when you're watching a movie, is who is the director is programming you. You know what I mean? And this one, he gonna talk about a book, but imagine, family. You see, when it's like we're living in the world and the families them around us. And depends whose book they are reading from. Family, be careful of the things them you watch and you see. You understand me? Everything out there is for you to learn and be a better person. You know what I mean? Don't make no one make you shy or scared of anything. You know what I mean? You make mistake in the system, you can correct it. You know what I mean? And remember they say, yeah, no one is perfect, yeah? And saying no one is perfect, family, 100%. 100% family. Is the system is not perfect. You get me? You are 100% perfect. If you follow the system, demonic or family who don't know, say they are perfect, yeah? It's like family, you are discriminating on the creator. The creator make everything perfect. You understand me? When some people born with half a leg, yeah, or half a arm, yeah, or they can't see, it's because of Bill Gates and all of these people. You get me, family? They like, all right, now, yeah, we're taking the something what they call the booster shot, yeah, or the jab, yeah, and we don't know what kind of effect it have on us, yeah? And sometimes the mothers them and the fathers them grow up in a certain community. Some of them grow up on drugs, you know what I mean? Some of them is like they are not happy inside. And when a parent is not happy inside, it can affect the child. But believe you me, we all born perfect. Never blame nothing in life, family. Question it. You know what I mean? All right. So this one going to show you whose eyes you're looking out when you're reading something. Yeah. All right. Love, family.
Keep an eye on who's writing the children's books. And, you know, you see a lot of celebrities writing children's books. I'm not going to name any names, but you can go and look around and find that well, I name one. Madonna has written a number of children's books. There are others too. Like, it's kind of it's out there pretty much that Madonna is a high priestess, and it's very clear if you watch any of her number of her performances at the any of the big shows that she's doing ritualistic work. She's doing that, and she's writing children's books because they want to get to children, because children is the raw innocence. They're not so much interested in the later years because you sort of already adapted your thought patterns and your thought prisons. You've already sort of dealt with that. You already dealt with, so they're not interested. So they're always going after the children. They're increasingly sort of, the children's books are increasingly vile. And I'll bring up, read Roald Dahl when I was a kid, and Roald Dahl, I was always like fascinated by his stories, and they are quite brilliant, but they also are quite vile as well. And Roald Dahl was an MI6 agent and worked with
Ian Fleming,
with Crowley, Fleming, and Dahl, and Churchill actually all worked together. But I know, and on this particular thing, Dahl was working with Fleming, and I think there is a Parkinson interview where I found a Parkinson interview where he openly said he was working for MI6 during the Second World War. That's the only time that it's out there. So he is an insider, so you know, throughout his books he will put truths, because that's what they tend to do. They always want to tell you what they're doing. They'll always tell you in one way or another what they're doing or how they're going to do it, because that's part of the contract as well. It's part of the thing. If they tell you what they're doing and you're not smart enough to pick it up, then they can get away with it karmically. It's sort of a loophole in the karmic law, that if we tell you, they tell you, and you don't do anything about it, then more fool you.
Yes, this is a fundamental principle of what we're giving up, how we give our permissions away.
Absolutely.
The idea is to pull those permissions back.
Yes, yeah, and definitely Dahl is definitely an interesting one to look into. Do a whole talk on Roald Dahl, Ian Fleming, and Crowley just in and of itself. Anyway, so Fleming was also an MI6 insider, and so you have peppered throughout all the Bond movies, which were Broccoli, the Broccoli family funded. They're the money behind it. So nothing I think his name's Albert. Nothing gets through at all unless he sees everything. He's like he sees the final cut of everything. So you know the Broccoli family are a military intelligence family as well, connected through the Second World War. This is all Project Paperclip stuff, and Dahl is connected to Paperclip and connected to CIA as well. So anyway, so going back to Dahl's books and going back to children's books and how significant they are. So if you're reading those stories to children, and they're layered with subconscious imagery, subconscious letters, then that's going to be embedded within the child, and then, you know, this particular consciousness that is doing this here is purely and simply a vampiric consciousness. It doesn't have a central core energy to feed itself. It has to take from others. It doesn't naturally understand what giving is. It has to take from other beings. That's how it works. So this false reality that's manifested and created here is done by embedding images and sounds and ideas into children's minds, and then you grow up having and thinking that, you know, also textbooks, you know, like we were saying with children's textbooks, you're given what the fundamental ideas of what we're told history is and how we're told the world is, and then that is then put to the conscious mind, and then so we believe it to be, so then we manifest a false reality. So we're living out a reality that really wouldn't be isn't our natural state at all. So that we're kept in a sort of a. Anytime a child reads something that is vile, it may want to come back and see it again, because children have that sort of that need, but or that desire to like look at something they're not supposed to. But it does give them like a traumatized reaction, and that traumatized reaction, that energy from that traumatized reaction, can then be harvested.
Fixed our growth, our maturity. You're fixed about the age of 15 for the rest of your life. That's how it seems. I'm not kidding either. That's how people are fixed. The guys are the same. Sports. Till the day they die, they're watching sports. They're watching international corporations that own massive sports teams where guys are paid millions of bucks each per year for throwing or kicking a ball around. Something children do. Something you grow out of as you grow up. And they knew they'd do this because H.G. Wells talked about it a long time ago. You see, when you take away your manhood, you can only project it through someone else. Someone else who pretends at a weekend to be your tribe and he's fighting someone else. Because in your own life, you have no power at all. And you're putting on that fat gut with all the fast food you eat and the booze you drink. But there you are. Suddenly you see yourself as a warrior for the weekend. What a joke. What a joke. Everyone's been manipulated by science and scientific indoctrination, including their whole psychology. That's a big part of it, the biggest part of it. Which also is going to be joined with the US under the Anglo-American establishment. Wrote about the kind of culture and the changes of culture over a 100-year period that they would actually design, implement and bring in. And H.G. Wells talked about it too. He talked about arenas. He says arenas could be put up across the world for sports, for instance. Now at that time, sports was something that children, school children were into. Adults became adults and got onto adult things. So it was unimaginable at the time that people could actually believe that there was even a need for adult sports and entertainment, never mind having arenas built across the world. But he said we can do this, and foist basically a sports culture for the males. Using a tribal system, we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man was to become more disengaged from his own destiny as the expert class arose, it was decided that the males would get their outlet basically, gradually becoming helpless as males through sports. Therefore they'd have a tribal team they could identify with, they could...
Yes, family, so enough things are going on out there, may I tell you, man. And we have to stay strong. You know, no matter what, we have to stay strong out there, you know what I mean? And try to uplift our inner right and uplift our truths, you know what I mean? Because just keeping it in your head is just like, is a mad person, you know what I mean, family? So, you know what I mean? How much family out there have some truths in them head and they will never say it. It's just like, you know what I mean? All right, family, so I don't have too much time on the live same way, so I'm going to look for a classic video. I'm going to look for the classic video, you know what I mean? Or just blaze some fire, you know what I mean, family? Yeah, man, for real, man. Alright, I'm going to look for a classic one. You know what I mean, family? Come I have some classic thing, yeah? Alright, man play a word magic, yeah? Word magic.
Reductionist view of the world has dominated Western thinking and academia. Man has been reduced to the level of a machine whose existence is due to a mere fluke, the result of random cosmic circumstances like the Big Bang and evolution. This nihilism has tricked us into believing human existence is at best a random, meaningless miracle, hiding the truth that the world we see is a simulation determined by our own consciousness. This realm called Earth is a holographic reflection of what is within us. There is a mirroring effect of our own consciousness, and the stimuli we experience in the world is a fractal reflection system. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. Everything is encapsulated as a holographic projection, and all energy is connected by a unified quantum field. Through this electric quantum field, this matrix grid, we are all connected as essentially one being divided into individual portions of consciousness within the mind of the Creator. This Creator, what some call God, is not a force outside of us, but literally is the sum of our consciousness. When our spirits became flesh, we became the earthly fractal structure down here, which mirrors the divinity above. The Christian Lord's Prayer states, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." This has a deep meaning. It is not just a prayer for humans to perform. This reveals the profound revelation of the fractal divinity of Source to be manifested in full glory here on this earthly plane. This will is love. Unfortunately, a virus has infiltrated this simulation. The energy extraction matrix is the parasitic system set up by this virus within this holographic reality. The virus is inorganic and aims to drown out this heavenly will of divine love, and instead instill and feed upon as much negativity as possible. There are two main parasites on this plane: mind parasites, also known as archons or demons, and reptilian humanoids. The spiritual control system of the energy extraction matrix is made up of religion, money, mass media, education, entertainment, science, law, authoritarianism, materialism, toxic food, air, and water, inverted concepts of sexuality and love, and degeneration of compassion and morality. As long as these aspects of control remain intact and adhered to by humanity, these parasitic entities can remain relatively comfortable feeding off of our siphoned energy. These elements aim to use our power to create reality against us by having us buy into a fear-based paradigm. Mind parasites, or archons, have chosen to experiment with the illusions of separation, darkness, isolation, enslavement, pain, torture, etc., to the strongest degree possible. In doing so, they have completely cut themselves off from the nourishing source light that supports benevolence in the multiverse, meaning they must energetically nourish themselves by feeding on low-frequency energies. But these archons did not come from somewhere else, rather began as thought forms within our own consciousness. As strange as it may seem, the idea of an invader species and a mind virus are the same thing. This parasite is both external and internal. As a collective, we are creating it and feeding it. Let me explain. In the distant past, human beings were infinitely more impressive than we are today. We were fully telepathic, multidimensional beings, navigating multiple planes of existence at will. Think of the continent of Mu and the land of Lemuria. We built vast cities with technology that worked in harmony with Earth's energetic fields, and we were in full alignment with our divine nature. The mind virus had not sprung forth yet, but we started to break off from our divinity. Archons began as thought forms that were not based in love. Because of this, the thought forms cut off from source and became inorganic. Instead of containing the essence of true intelligence, like thought forms with divine essence, they became artificially intelligent, gaining an autonomous robot-like consciousness themselves. This is revealed in the Pistis Sophia unveiled. The archons of the 12 eons, their lords and their authorities, their angels and their archangels are represented within ourselves by the distinct autonomous and self-conscious parts of our own being. The Oversoul is a divine spirit that encompasses all human souls. It's what the Gnostics called the monad. The Oversoul intelligence contains no ill will or selfish motives. When we experience compassion, love, empathy, a sense of healing, this is us feeling the essence of the Oversoul, the essence of God. In this context, the term Oversoul is the collective indivisible soul, of which all individual souls are included. However, upon breaking away from our sense of love and oneness, a secondary type of Oversoul was created, an artificial intelligence that is apart from the main Oversoul. So now we are in duality, able to access both the organic love-based Oversoul and the inorganic fear-based Oversoul. This is in part what the tree of good and evil in the Bible's text represents. We ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, meaning we broke apart from our divine nature, creating duality, this new Oversoul. Both Oversouls are conscious, but unlike the secondary Oversoul, the true Oversoul can never dissolve, because it's what we came from and what we channel our divinity from. This is why the mind virus known as the Archons is not permanent, and doomed to eventually disintegrate. Archons travel by means of electromagnetic waves through low vibratory consciousness. Lack of awareness is what they thrive off of and aim to perpetuate in our psyches. It's a loop. If they can create distress, they can preserve themselves. These parasitic beings can only respond and manipulate. They cannot actually create themselves. Our spirits intuitively know how to harmonize and vibrate high. These Archons intuitively know how to destroy and vibrate low. Most conflicts, destructive patterns of behavior, embedded traumas within our subconscious, and aggressive, accusatory, or masochistic thoughts are the result of Archon interference. Our negative emotions direct the flow of our electromagnetic vibrations to our lower 3 chakras, the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra. These energy centers have to do with the material realm, desire and power, intimacy and sexuality, and survival and grounding. The healthy expressions of the root chakra are a connection to the earth, groundedness, and a sense of security. The archonic expressions of the root chakra are materialism, greed, and anxiety. The healthy expressions of the sacral chakra are desire, passion, creativity, and healthy sexual expression. The archonic expressions of the sacral chakra are extremes in sexual expression, lack of creativity, and suppression of authentic desire. The healthy expressions of the solar plexus chakra are sovereignty and authenticity. The archonic expressions of the solar plexus chakra are rage, dominance or submission, and feeling powerless to authority or external circumstances. As you can see, the aspects of the spiritual control system, by their very nature, tune these 3 chakras to archonic expressions. The energy extraction matrix wants to keep us in these lower chakras, thinking solely with our animalistic material desires and expressions, rather than balancing them with our hearts and upper chakras, which serve to expand consciousness and combine the spiritual with the material. There's a cleansing process taking place. This is a time of transitions. We are being elevated in these experiences of breakdowns and breakthroughs at an accelerated pace. Basically, we are being pushed to awaken. This process is bringing up anything that is not the same frequency that our spirit is currently trying to download. We must transmute these energies. This disclosure is coming from our higher selves, coming up in the form of anger, depression, insecurity, and anxiety. As we shed our conditioning to make way for higher frequencies, there is a detox of the spirit, just like the uncomfortable reactions that take place when we detoxify our physical bodies. Society would have us believe this psychological distress is due to inherent flaws within our brains or genetics. Therapies such as prescription antidepressants are designed to put us back to sleep. The mind virus is here, so it does no good to ignore it. When we go through phases where we feel lost, we must not label these things as bad, like many New Age circles do. The answer is to dive deeper into ourselves and clear these negative emotions by experiencing them fully and therefore releasing them. This is not dwelling. It's a healthy reaction, showing your spiritual immune system is intact. The person who ignores too much of the hidden aspect of themselves becomes a slave to it. We must achieve balance between our conscious and unconscious mind. This is the correct way to starve the mind parasite. During this unveiling, each of us is being called to focus on rebalancing the masculine and feminine in ourselves. We do live in a patriarchy, but this patriarchy is not simply men oppressing women, but is the result of being stuck in the male aspect of consciousness. Symptoms of this include overemphasis on logic, lack of compassion, and not acknowledging the unity of everything. Through social engineering, the powers that be have externalized the masculine and feminine. The masculine is marketed as dominant, aggressive, unemotional, and sexually aggressive, and the feminine as submissive, jealous, over-emotional, and weak-minded. The masculine and feminine are aspects within ourselves, and when cultivated properly, show a union between our left and right brains. However, we must surrender to the suppressed divine feminine before incorporating the divine masculine. If the feminine is being, then the masculine is doing. From being, the healthy masculine aspect can respond with doing, and not the other way around. Right now, we see the opposite. Lots of doing, and this can never give way to being, since being requires stillness of the mind, heart, overall surrender to our inner guidance. As a society, we are now very good at being able to separate things into their component parts, but without the feminine aspect of seeing the relatedness between the parts and the wholeness of the system. Authoritarianism is not simply the doing of parasitic forces, it's a manifestation and reflection of being stuck in the male aspect of consciousness, having lost our inner guidance. The more we find our own inner guidance, the less we feel a need for outer guidance. This system routinely scares us into believing we're on the brink of world war, health crisis, economic collapse, and zombie apocalypse. This is a direct response to the blossoming feminine consciousness in this age of Aquarius. When we're in reaction, we are in the male aspect. This is why no matter what happens, we must process everything first through incorporation of the divine feminine. It's important not to cultivate a victim-based mindset when attempting to understand the topics of this system. This energy extraction matrix is a mind game. That's all it is. Nobody is strapping you to this game. You can get up and walk away whenever you want. The parasites of this matrix know that their time is almost up, and they are desperately doing everything that they can to keep human consciousness in a low-frequency state. The apocalypse is now, but we've been taught to fear it. Apocalypse simply means an uncovering in ancient Greek, a disclosure of knowledge or revelation. The energy extraction matrix will implode on itself when enough of us recognize our sovereign abilities as divine creators.
Yes, family. So that one is a good one, you know what I mean? For bring us to reality, you know what I mean? Because when we are pay bills, we not live reality, we are live a system, innit? So may have a video what I did make, and I call this one say don't watch people business because you're upon the earth time, you know what I mean? The earth, you know what I mean? Season. You're upon the earth season, meaning you're a physical being and we have to come out of the, you know what I mean, come out of it, but we have to work together, we have to build together. That's why I join the Maroon Sovereignty, because when you find out the wrong things what's happening, it's like you have to find a way out in it, family. Yeah, man, for real, man. So that is the way out, and I'm just gathering family same way for uplift them rights, you know what I mean? All right, family. So this video called "Don't Watch People Business." You know what I mean? Cause we're up on the earth time. Yeah. All right. Love your family. Watch people business, and when we start to watch our own business, what we come in at the earth to do. This one is about people watching people business, yeah? And I'm gonna show you how people watch people business. You see, when they watch TV, they are watching someone business, innit? You know, like Kardashian, it's someone business, innit? That's why we all wear brands. We know about brands, we know about big cars, we know about rich, we know about poor, because we're watching people business. And when we watching people business, we forget what we come into the earth to do. Stop watch people business is a brainwash. They are brainwashing us. You understand me? People who is talking good, they don't have to be good. Them say in the Bible, the devil or Satan or Lucifer or demon will tempt you with things. The people them on television is tempting us with things. That's why we must stop watch people business and watch your own life journey. Every day you wake up, you have your own journey.
Now, I am not a internet person or anything, and I just happened to take my phone from my son, and it said his podcast is what they call them here was getting ready to start.
Everything about science is been a lie. Whoever sponsors the research controls the science.
One world. One world.
One world.
One world. One world. One world.
One world. One world.
One world.
One world.
One world, me tell you know. One world.
One world.
One world.
One world. One world.
One world.
You have your own journey. Every day you wake up, life gives you something to do. Protect someone who is dying out there. Protecting someone who is lost out there. Protecting someone who don't have their right knowledge and getting misled. Family, every day you sleep and you wake, the universe give you a work to do. That's why you are here.
Before I created the heavens and the earth, I was. When the earth and everything in it passes away, I will be. I hold the universe together from the smallest atom to the greatest galaxy. It all is in my hands.
Stop watch people business. And when we start to watch our own business, what we come in at the earth to do, we all will learn to love each other and help each other and grow with each other. Don't watch the TV and say, oh yeah, it's like you're learning. You understand me? No, you're programming. You understand me, family? So we need to come to that sense. You know, stop watching people business. You know what I mean? Just stop it, family. They are not helping us. You know what I mean? They are just, it's just like, oh, you read the book and continue read the book. You become the book. Like 1 million people read the same book. You understand me? No, but you have to come to your sense. The earth send you in the earth for your purpose and for its purpose. To protect me, to protect you, and protect each other. Stop watch people business. Yeah? When you're reading a book, you're reading someone's business. You understand me? Use a book of life same way. Inbox me. Alright.